What's going on, guys? I hope everybody's having a great day and a Merry Christmas. I don't have a Santa Claus hat. I'm sorry. If I did, I wear one. But welcome to my Christmas special. I know that my Michael Myers mask up there in the corner is doing a really good job at complementing the Christmas theme. So today, what we're going to be talking about is the film from 2000 starring Jim Carrey, that being How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I almost fucked that up. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, with Jim Carrey as the Grinch himself, which is a live-action adaptation of the book by Dr. Seuss and the animation directed by Chuck Jones back in 1962. That was all of 25, 30 minutes, somewhere in that ballpark. So, I shouldn't really have to say this, but for those of you that... it really pains me to say this, that don't know what the Grinch is or how the Grinch stole Christmas. If you don't know what any of that is, you were raised incorrectly, and I'm disappointed in all of your parents. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. So, what do I think about the 2000 adaptation of How the Grinch Stole Christmas? I prefer the 1962 animation infinitely more because that's the one I grew up with. In fact, I actually for a while didn't like this movie. And I have seen the 2008 movie with Benedict Cumberbatch, but that movie was fucking garbage. I'm sorry, it's shit. In my opinion, at least. Because I think I didn't like this movie because it was just very overplayed. And especially when I got into school, and I got into middle school, every fucking day, the day before Christmas break, all 4 fucking years, every class I had to go to was showing this movie. And eventually it started getting overplayed, and I felt like I was watching this movie every 5 minutes. Last night, when I watched this movie with my fiance, and this is one of her favorite all-time movies. By the way, she can watch this movie any time of year and enjoy it. She knows pretty much the script to this. Yeah, she's way more of a fan of this movie than I am. But with that being said, we watched it last night, and something happened. I actually enjoyed the movie this time. I don't think it's better than the animation. I don't think it's anywhere close to being as good as the animation. But I actually really enjoyed it this time. And I think with this rewatch, because it's been a few years now, I kind of forgot a lot of what happened about it, and I tried to forget on purpose, but I actually found myself laughing at a lot of the jokes, a lot of the comedy in this movie. And I'm not even the biggest Jim Carrey fan. I'll be the first to tell you, I am not the biggest Jim Carrey fan. Never have been. Never found Dumb and Dumber funny. My favorite Jim Carrey movie is the number 23, and, well, that's not a very popular opinion among people that like Jim Carrey, but, yeah, the number 23 is my favorite. This might actually be a close second now. I mean, aside from Kick-Ass 2, but he wasn't really in that movie that long. But, yeah, this might be my second favorite Jim Carrey movie now. So your plot, I mean, it's the plot of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Guy hates Christmas, wants to take it from everybody, and at the end, his redemption arc, his heart grows, he becomes more warm to the idea of Christmas, and him and the rest of Whoville, they kind of share the festivities at the end and have the big feast. It's a nice, happy ending to a pretty depressing story. But a lot of the jokes I found really funny. And when I was watching the movie, I know that this movie had a PG-13 rating as well, and for a lot, about maybe the first hour of the movie, I was like, why is this movie rated PG-13? Then you get a scene where the Grinch comes flying out of the trash chute or whatever it is, wait, he goes flying out of something, and the next thing you know, his face is in this chick's tits, and it's like, that's what got it the PG-13 rating. Just that scene right there got it the PG-13 rating. I think if she had not been wearing anything, it would have got an R rating, but that would have been a really weird, an R-rated Grinch movie. Actually, you know what? That actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. That sounds like it'd be kind of interesting. Whatever. The jokes were a lot funnier. Jim Carrey's performance as the Grinch in this movie is just... as far as comedy goes, like Ace Ventura, which I do like Ace Ventura, but as far as his other comedy movies that I've seen, this might be the best I've ever seen him. He just plays the Grinch. He doesn't rip it completely from the animation, but he kind of takes the Grinch and makes it his own. And I think that's what makes his performance in this so iconic. Is he borrowed a little bit, but he made it his own. And for that, I gotta give props to Jim Carrey. Like I said, he's always been a guy that I've respected. I respect his legacy. I've just never been that huge on his stuff, but like I said, this is probably now my second favorite Jim Carrey movie upon rewatch. I guess if I don't really want to be negative towards this movie because it's actually paced really well. There's not really a point in this movie where it feels boring. But if I had to kind of be a little bit nitpicky, I didn't think the little girl was all that great of an actress. The one that's trying to convince the Grinch that, Christmas isn't that bad and trying to change his mind. I didn't think she was really that good in this, but I mean, that's really kind of... I mean, with child actors, as it is, it's going to go one or two ways. It's either going to flop, or it's going to be... you're going to have the next rising star. But I actually don't think that it did either. I just didn't think she was, like... She had a lot of screen time, and her acting didn't really wow me. But that's really probably the only negative thing I have to say about this. I like the whole Whoville aesthetic. I mean, it's got that Dr. Seuss aesthetic. Everything's kind of wonky and kooky and stuff like that. Like the Cat in the Hat movie is kind of the same way. I mean, all of Dr. Seuss's books are like that. I read all the Dr. Seuss books when I was a kid. So everything in the Dr. Seuss world is always really wacky and out there, but that's kind of the charm of it, really. Of not just How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but just out of Dr. Seuss adaptations as it is, and as well as his books. But yeah, you get a lot of stuff that's really wacky looking, but it's nice to look at. And I gotta give 2 thumbs up to the set designers of this movie. They just nailed it on the head. And I don't know if it's the same set designers that did the Cat in the Hat movie. If it is, they get a 10 out of 10 for that as well. If not, the people that did was still great with Cat in the Hat. Even though the Cat in the Hat, however, that is a whole other breed of movies. I mean, that Mike Myers costume, the cat costume for Mike Myers, thing is fucking nightmare-inducing. And I want to go top of the difference between Jim Carrey as the Grinch and Mike Myers as the Cat in the Hat. Is Jim Carrey as the Grinch makes, like I said, he makes the Grinch his own. And the Grinch costume looks fucking awesome. The Cat in the Hat, however, holy fuck, that costume is nightmare-inducing, and the Cat in the Hat in that movie is a fucking borderline sociopath, and is nothing like what I remembered from the Dr. Seuss books. I'm not the hugest fan of the Cat in the Hat. It has its moments. It has its funny moments, but that movie is just, like I said, that movie is a different breed of movies. That's unlike anything I've ever seen before. But it still feels like something out of a Dr. Seuss book. But I don't think it's quite as good as Jim Carrey's The Grinch. I think that Jim Carrey, The Grinch, is this Grinch movie. It's not, he didn't make it. He's the one that played the Grinch. But this movie is way better than the Cat in the Hat movie, for sure. And just Jim Carrey's performance here is amazing as the Grinch. Like I said, he doesn't fuck over what the Grinch is. He takes this, this character from this 20-minute animation and borrows a lot from that, but then takes it and puts his own spin on it and made it iconic. Like I said, my old lady, my fiance is, she doesn't like when I say that, old lady, but I say it out of habit. My fiance is always quoting this movie. I don't think there's a time where she's not quoting something from this movie or doing the voice of the Grinch. And I definitely have to say that I actually really enjoy this movie now, and I don't think I'd ever have an issue going back and watching it again. I thought that I was in for it last night when I when we decided to watch it. I thought I was in for a long haul, but it turned out not to be so bad. And like I said, that was probably to do with this movie being shoved in my face 24/7, and that really can skew how I view a movie. So, I guess this is actually a really good story of how I went from despising a movie to actually ending up, enjoying it. And, I mean, what did you guys think of this movie? Did you guys enjoy this movie? Did you not enjoy it? Are you maybe like me, where you've had this movie just crammed down your throat, where you'd have to watch the movie 10 times in one day during school, and then maybe 7, 8 years later you revisit it and maybe you enjoy it? I mean, did you have a similar experience I did with this movie? But as far as ratings go, I give this movie a solid 8 out of 10. For the most part, I really enjoyed the movie. So, like I said, what did you guys think of the movie? Make sure to like this video, leave your comments down below. If you didn't like the video, dislike it, troll me in the comments. I don't give a shit. I got fucking sassy responses to give out. But yeah, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a Merry Christmas. I hope everybody has a perfect 10 out of 10 Christmas. And I am out. Peace.